This is outside my mum's house at Buckley View, Small Bridge, Rochdale. My problem started at a very early age, you know. Dad left when I was 2 or 3, I think. Mum was an alcoholic. I'd had enough at 14 and moved out and moved to a place in Rochdale, which is quite renowned for being one of the worst estates for unemployment, addiction, and then from there to an equally horrible place in Rochdale. And that's when I got involved in the drug scene, smoking a bit of weed, like taking a few pills. Well, I got run over in 2012. I nearly lost my right leg below the knee. And then 3 years later, I had an MI, an heart attack basically. I got involved with Wi-Fi because I was smoking copious amounts of crack, and I was drinking well within excess.
Wi-Fi, or West Yorkshire Finding Independence in its full name, is a project that supports people with multiple and complex needs across the 5 local authority areas in West Yorkshire. When we say multiple and complex needs, we mean homelessness, addiction, reoffending behaviour and mental ill health. It's a project that's received National Lottery community funding for the last 6 years. The programme supports people to engage in the services that they need, that those services work together so they have that multi-agency support, and that's all joined together by a multiple needs navigator who will build a trusted relationship with that person. They will look at a person-centred support plan, so it's what the person wants, not what the services want, and they will work with that person over the length of time that it takes to move them on that journey. And when they're at the point in their journey that they need to think about moving into employment, at that point they will receive help from our education, training and employment team.
Warren was referred by Humankind in Todmorden at the Todwell Centre to the Wi-Fi service. He had multiple and complex needs. He was deeply entrenched within his addiction. He was facing homelessness, and he wasn't accessing any services. He wasn't engaging very well with anybody at all. When the referral came through, we had a navigator in Todmorden, and the navigator made contact with Warren, and slowly but surely he started to engage in with GP services, with going back to Humankind in Todmorden for recovery, and looking into housing him, because Together Housing were issuing him with a Section 21 notice.
But they kicked me out anyway. Together Housing said, listen, you either take this flat or we're going to evict you. So I've ended up homeless.
Eventually, he was offered alternative accommodation through Together Housing again, but that meant that he was moving out of area.
I moved in here with not a pot to piss in. I didn't have any friends, didn't know nobody. Suicidal? What? That's an understatement. Because I tell you what, I didn't have anybody, I didn't know the streets, didn't know where to go. It was like being stuck in the middle of no man's land, you know, and I found it so hard to make that transition, you know, to being from there to here, and it was difficult.
Again, the navigator then tried to engage him with what we could offer in Wi-Fi, which was co-production workers that were able to get him to join in with the network at the time, and other beneficiaries that had needs very similar to Warren. And Warren thrived under that and did start to engage really well. And at that time, then we engaged him with the ETE team. We were able to offer him a peer mentoring course.
Somebody mentioned, would you be interested in a peer mentoring course? And I said, I've been asking for that for months. For years, sorry, but never got no reply.
The peer mentor is basically someone who's got lived experience, who will then help the navigator make relationships with our beneficiaries, the people with the multiple complex needs chaotic lifestyle. And our way of looking at it is that because people have gone through the experience themselves and come out, so-called come out the other end, then therefore there's that empathy, shared experiences where they can build trust and rapport.
So he did a 12-week accredited peer mentoring course.
So our course covered a variety of things, so mentoring skills, conflict resolution, negotiation skills, equality and diversity, confidentiality and safeguarding.
All I've got to say right here, I'm not going to go through it page for page, but there you go. That is what we had to do in 4 months. And you know, it wasn't easy. And that's what gave me the balls to do it. Warren Shawcross, peer mentor, you know what I mean? And then that's what made me crack on, you know, and I did it. And I think I did it with distinction, you know, and that's a word I never thought I'd hear. I've done something with distinction, or exceptionally well. Fuck, I'm not used to that, me. You know, I'm used to getting told, yeah, listen, you can't do that, you know what I mean? You'll never achieve nothing. Well, look at that. There's my certificate to say that I'm a peer mentor, but I'm also a volunteer now. I didn't think I was able of rebooting my brain, you know, learning something different. I didn't think it was possible. I never for 1 minute thought I could change the person that I am, but I think I'm about 60% better than I was even just a year ago. Because I've achieved so much.
He listens a lot. He takes things on. He wants to improve himself. And that's what we've noticed over the years, over the year or so, how different he is, where he's moving, how he's moving forward, what he wants to do, how he speaks as well. He says he's changed the way he thinks about what he says before he speaks.
To be able to sit and do the peer mentoring training, you've got to have a DBS check.
He had no ID. So the ways of doing this so he had no birth certificate, nothing at all, so.
I needed my mum's marriage certificate, my birth cert, my dad's birth cert, and I would not have been able to get them without the help of Wi-Fi and touchstones.
And then we got a passport. We thought, well, we're here, it may be easy, just having a passport. Warren says, once he got his passport, he felt like he was legitimate in the country. I've got this thing, and also he was just so excited. He just thinks I can go away, and he had the opportunity to go to Egypt. And
this Egypt thing has been the thing inside my head since I was about 6 years old. I've always been intrigued with Egypt, Tutankhamun, you know, things like that, you know, and the pyramids, the Sphinx. I've got photographs from there, you know, and they're amazing. But the one of me's at the bottom of King Khufu's tomb on the Giza Plateau, brilliant. But that was childhood fantasy for me, and I've achieved it. And that's thanks to learning all this.
He was very proud of the fact that he finished his peer mentoring, and then he went on to join the Calderdale Mini Network, which in essence he almost set up with the help of others, and continues to come to the network meetings, continues to engage with co-production, continues to help others, and has recently started to volunteer at Foundation as a volunteer for us on the duty desk.
I'm a peer mentor volunteer at the moment, you know, and this is my voluntary position, sat behind this desk, answering the phone, answering the door, dealing with the public. It's amazing, you know, when you think you've got nobody and you start getting involved and you start mixing with people, you know, you start to feel like you're part of something that you've not been part of for a very long time, you know. And it's a frightening experience to start with, you know, because you're so used to being on your own or in isolation, you know, and then once you start coming on a regular basis, attending groups, meetings, and the training that they provide, it gives you a purpose, you know, it gives you something to look forward to.
Road to Recovery is a programme in West Yorkshire that is being rolled out by our Education, Training and Employment team that links to the national campaign for multiple and complex needs, which is called See the Full Picture. Warren became involved in Road to Recovery when it was taking place in Halifax. He was involved with a team that visited York, Blackpool, Hebden Bridge. They took photographs, some people did paintings, and some people wrote poems about their own journey.
This is a photograph I took when we took some beneficiaries on a day trip on a canal barge from Hebden Bridge. And I was actually driving the canal barge. We had a fantastic day, you know, brilliant. And I won it, and I auctioned it on a social media, and I raised £30 for it, which I've donated to another organisation in Rochdale called PAG UK.
During the barge trip, it was while he was doing the course, and I think, well, I know when Warren always came back, he says, I put a lot of what you learnt on the course onto the barge trip, how I behaved, what I said, what I do. I looked at things. His way of, Warren will say, I looked at things more professionally.
What it is, because we've become such a close community, you know what I mean, as in beneficiaries, peer mentors, we kind of bounce off each other. It's all about building a rapport and a relationship, you know, with beneficiaries, you know, and as soon as you can do that, then you'll find people opening up, you know, and telling you things that they probably, well, they don't tell anybody. And you know, if you can help 1 or 100, you know what I mean, I'd like to help just one person, you know, that'd be my art set, that, you know.
I think the thing to remember is, with Warren's journey, it's taken a while, and he'll probably say, I'm not there yet, but with a little encouragement and with the support he needs, he will get there.
Warren has got a picture in his head, and one way we sort of work together is saying, all right, you've got this picture in your head of where you want to go. So if you do that, does that help you get to where you want to go? And so Warren's way of looking at it, so well, if it doesn't help me get there, then there's no point doing that, because that's not going to help me get to where I want to go.
You know, I've been dealt some hard cards, you know. My mum's just died recently as well. Not last week, the week before. I had the heart attack. I could have gone one or two ways, and I went the wrong way. I could have gone 1 or 2 ways again after the loss of my mum. But they say you're never too old to learn, you know what I mean? But I thought to myself, you're not going down that road again, Warren, you know. Because the last thing I said to my mum before she passed was, Mum, you know, I have changed and I want to make you proud. I've been given a second chance, you know, and if I don't grab hold of it, you know, because I've had thousands of chances and pissing up the wall, you know what I mean? Turning up, half cut, you know, it's not the way forward. And maybe I should practice what I preach, you know, I'd have been here sooner, you know, a lot sooner, but my head's not been with it. I didn't have a purpose. The way it's changed my life, you know, being involved in this and the NECG, going up and down the country, you know, to different conferences and everything else, you know, it means a lot to me. It saved my life, to be honest with you. That's what it said, it saved my life. That's what it means to me.